Hi everyone, Piyush here from PrepB and welcome to yet another video on how to prepare series. In this one, we are going to look at how you can prepare and what should be your roadmap for the upcoming 6 months. And I'm going to discuss what my preparation journey was because I also prepared for roughly 6 months only, and then how you can incorporate the same idea and go ahead with your preparation for CAT 2025. So let's just begin. All right. So we are going to discuss how you can prepare for CAT 2025 in just 200 days. It's around 208 to 210 days before CAT 2025 arrives. So we are going to have a look at what exactly you need to do. First of all, I'd like to discuss what my preparation journey was. So it started in the year 2020, where in later part of March, I decided that I will appear for CAT. Uh, that the very same year, and I had roughly 7 months of preparation cycle. And fortunately enough, I was able to crack the code as to how you can prepare, how I should prepare for CAT. And then it was all about executing, my daily plan on daily basis. And luckily enough, I was lucky enough to achieve the result in the first go itself, while scoring 99.25 percentile as well. So in the first video, if you remember, I talked about how you can benchmark your preparation, when you just begin, when you are just starting out, right? So I asked you to give a mock paper or maybe try a previous year paper from CAT and see which sections you are good at, which sections you are not good at, and then benchmark what sections you need to put more attention on, etc., etc., etc. While doing that, I realized that I have my strengths in quants. I had a good aptitude in quants because it came from two factors. I was from the beginning I was good in quants, starting from school, right from IITJ preparation days, and I had a good backing in mathematics, so it helped. And by the way, you should be very clear on the fact that not having an engineering background is not a letdown for you. It's actually a misnomer that many students think that if they are from commerce background, or let's say business background, they have lost an edge over those who are engineers. It's not the case. I have seen many engineers who struggle to score marks in mathematics, and there are many non-engineers who are very comfortable in mathematics. So be very clear on this. The journey for your CAT preparation is very different from what it was in uh, you know in your school times, or maybe in your IITG preparation if you had appeared for one. So let's just be very clear on that. Coming back to the point I was making. So I benchmarked my strength. I was very good in quants. I was decently good in logical reasoning and data interpretation. So uh, all I needed to do was just prepare the topics that are asked in CAT for all three subjects, and then go ahead and give mocks. So I had benchmarked myself that I'm good in quants, I'm decent in logical reasoning and data interpretation, but I needed a lot of work in VARC. So that was my benchmarking, and then the secret sauce of all of it. It was just about consistency, and that is one thing which I did for the whole of my preparation cycle, and that actually I think was the secret sauce for my preparation and scoring 99 plus percentile in the very first go. Now, the daily drill. I've already talked about it in the previous videos, but just to remind you, in quants, you have to solve around 30 to 35 questions a day. Verbal ability and reading comprehension, 10 verbal ability question. You can pick 3 to 4 from parajumbles, 3 to 4 from critical reasoning, 2 to 3 from sentence completion, or para summary, etc. And then 3 to 4 RCs per day, depending on how much time you have. For DILR, you have to solve 2 to 4 sets per day. When I say 2 to 4, it again depends on how much time do you have per day. If you are a working professional, you might be comfortable with solving only one set from DI and one from LR. If you have more time, you can devote 2 from DI, 2 from LR, and so on and so forth. But bare minimum, you should be able to solve this much, and just multiply it by the number of preparation days left. So you will easily have around 6 to 7,000 questions under your belt for quants. Um, Around 500 RCs solved for 500 RCs, and 200 plus verbal ability questions solved for VRC section, and then again 300 to 400 sets for DILR, and that's a huge number of questions that you have practiced. And that's exactly the thing. If you are consistent enough for this 6 months, That's how you get the payoff in the CAT examination. Now, there is something else that you need to do apart from just solving questions, and which is reading. And you may not realize this, but CAT examination is all about your comprehension. Whether it's DILR, whether it's quants, whether it's VARC, it's all about comprehending, the question that are asked. I'll give you an example. Of course, reading comprehension and verbal ability are all about comprehension. But logical reasoning and data interpretation, there is a huge amount of text written over there that you have to comprehend accurately enough to make sure that you understand that well, and then you solve the question based on that. So it's all about comprehension. Quants, there are some questions which are lengthy in nature. Now, more or less, I have realized that the questions which are lengthy in nature, those are very easy to solve. It's just that you have to comprehend those well. And if you are able to comprehend those well, voila, you have solved those questions. So CAT examination in a nutshell is all about comprehending difficult text or seemingly difficult text and simplifying it for yourself. Now, where do you read your stuffs from? I have mentioned all those sources. You can see it on the screen. Scientific American, great source, great resource for anything scientific, anything related to medicine, anything related to development in tech, etc. Great source for that. Aeon in itself is a library for different sources. You can find articles on economy, you can find articles on humanity, you can find articles on uh, you know uh, global politics, international relations, you can find articles on history, arts, everything over there. It's a great source, by the way. Arts and Letters Daily, again, one of my favorites, because I'm someone who loves history, I'm someone who loves knowing random stuffs about random things, so it's a great source about that. uh, the Economist, of course, one of the great source for the economic turmoil that is going on right now, and you will be very well versed with whatever happenings are going on right now in the world. Some of the some of the reading comprehension passages in the past have directly been picked from the economist as well. The Hindu and the Guardian, these are sort of the sources where you will be very well versed. If you read them daily, you'll become very well versed with the current happenings, and they actually help you in your written ability test, which happens just after your CAT examination if you qualify for certain B schools. And by the way, I have one more source for you, which is the All India Radio News. And it's an interesting source because in 10 minutes or so, you get all the relevant news that you need to know. You don't have to know what a certain political party's leader told on certain news channel. You don't have to know all of that, but you need to know what happenings are there, what are the happenings that are taking place day by day. So you get a good gist of what's the relevant current affair is for you. Now you may say that all that is great, but you can't read every article from every of these sources daily. True. Just choose and pick, let's say, one article from Scientific American today, one from Aeon, two from Economist. That should be good enough for a day. 4 to 5 articles a day is good enough. Again, you don't have to go ahead and read all the passages, all the paragraphs in those articles. Just go through the first 600 to 700 words of the, it roughly rounds up to around 7 to 8 paragraphs. So if you read 7 to 8 paragraphs for one article, that's good enough. And try doing that for 4 to 5 articles a day. But make sure you are consistent. If you're not able to do 4 to 5, go for 3 to 4. One or two even, that's good enough. But make sure that you read as much as possible, because that's the secret sauce. That's what is going to give you edge over others. Now, consider, for example, in Arts and Letters Daily, you get an article on what is a stoicism, and then there is a passage, different passage, not the same, but a different passage asked on what is a stoicism, what is it, how it affected history, etc., etc. I'm just giving an example. You will be well versed with the context of it. You may not remember it, but you'll be able to recall that, hey, I've read this somewhere. And that's exactly what that matters. That's exactly what all of this reading is going to provide you. It's going to provide you with, sort of a reference point where you can choose and pick your thoughts that, I have studied this somewhere. Therefore, I am able to easily comprehend this passage. Right? If I all of a sudden I present to you an article on relationship between Turkey and let's say China. You will not be able to understand it fully, at least on the first in the first go, if you have not had any reference point. But if you have some reference, you know, as to how international relation articles are written in general, you will have some reference point to go back to and understand that. So that's what I meant. So the daily drill, cons, VARC, and DILR, I've already told you, and then reading, I've already explained what you need to do. And the most important book, by the way, is the CAT previous year questions. So even if you might be in your preparation journey right now, you may have completed some portion of your syllabus and whatnot, but whatever chapters you complete, make sure you go ahead and solve the previous year papers related to that, be it quants, LRDI, or VARC. It's very important that you go ahead and solve the previous year papers. Now, for verbal ability, it's not very important that you solve reading comprehension passages from more than 10 years back. However, you must solve all the verbal ability papers pertaining to CAT. Similarly, for logical reasoning and data interpretation and quants and in quants as well. So it's very important that you solve previous year questions, ideally from the beginning till the end, from 1991 till date, the papers are available. If not possible, at least for the past 10 years, 15 years, whatever you may find comfortably. And that's pretty much it. I think for the next 6 months, just plan your journey out in the fashion that I have already discussed. And before we part away, the last thoughts for this video is, instead of bothering about, there are a lot of questions that you may find on Quora and on Facebook and Telegram groups that students ask that at what percentile I'll be able to get IIM A, B, C, or if I have XX% marks in 10th, 12 in or in UG, is it good enough to get IIM Ahmedabad or Bangalore or something like that? All of these thoughts are mere distractions and it's not going to serve you well. Just focus on what's in your control and what is important for you right now, and that is your work, your preparation that you are actually going to put in right now. Bothering about your past or whatever exam results you had in the past, it's not going to change anything. It's done, it's dusted, let it be. If you are good enough to write CAT, you are eligible to write CAT, go ahead and write CAT. At what percentile will I get IIM ABC? If I say that you are going to get IIM A at 99.5, and if you score 100 percentile in CAT, won't you accept that? You will definitely, right? So go ahead and prepare well, try to score as high as possible. That's it. We will bother about all of these things once your CAT is over. All right. So all the best for your preparation. Stay tuned, and we will come back very soon with more of such videos on Prep B. All the best.